Hi all, good evening. Yeah, we will wait for a couple more minutes. I see still
Okay, sir.
people are joining.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I think they are still. I don't know. People still thinking that it's 7:30 p.m. class. Today we'll start bit early. I said yesterday. Okay, we'll wait for a couple more minutes. Okay. Yesterday I have shared. Sorry, today I have shared a material regarding the material master, the PPT I have shared. I hope everyone has seen that slides. Have gone through those slides, right? Yeah, Bhargav, Mayank, are you able to? I mean, are you able to see that? Have you gone through that PPT which I shared regarding the material master today, like around 4 p.m. or somewhere? I have uploaded.
Couldn't see, sir, because I was in the office today. So I'll
Okay,
see
okay,
today
okay,
tonight after the class.
okay. Bhargav, you are working on a shift basis. Today is Sunday, right? Actually.
Yes, sir. Today is actually a shift on extra shift. I was supposed to do. So that's the reason I've gone to my office.
Oh, okay. Okay, no worries. Did you receive any link or saying that I have shared any material, not only you, the others? At least any
Um,
intimation for you?
no, sir, I did not. But
No, sir.
frequently, I'll check my LMS portal
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
where you'll be uploading the documents. But yesterday I couldn't. But today I did not check it out. Um, After the
Yeah,
class, I'll
please
check it
check
out.
the LMS portal. I have shared you the Metal Master PPT regarding the
Yeah, sir.
metal
Yeah.
creation, metal type, and the
There
number
is
ranges.
available on LMS portal.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Akshay. Yesterday, regarding the error we faced, right? The material type while creating the material for the custom material type, the FL material ledger issue that was resolved. Actually, it was a simple one.
Okay.
I didn't check the standard material ledger account, so I'll show you. it is purely FICO related, but at the time of practice, you may face the same issue. So it should not stop your practice. So I'll show you what are the settings how to do to overcome that. In general, in the real time, I think you don't get that those kind of errors or anything. Everything will be maintained proper. Since this is a practice system, number ranges or any other things, and there are some instances where people will be practicing and making some changes, so deletion and these things. That's the reason we are facing couple of issues while doing in the time of session or anything. But in real time, everything, no one can touch the production system. It is very restricted environment production. Only end users can create their part of the role, like PO creation or anything, metal creation, those things. And backend, no one can make any changes regarding the number ranges or any configuration settings. If they need to do any changes, first they have to do in the development system as per the landscape, as we discussed it. In that format, there will be changes, but unnecessary changes will not be happen over there. Since this is a practice system, we do not have any other option. That's the reason. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Rajni.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you in between, sir. Actually, can anyone guide me? Means how to install LMS portal and where I need
I
to
think there
access
is
because
a link.
still.
There will be a link, Rajni. Actually, you might be. Coordinators might be providing the link regarding the LMS and also some. There are portals, embedded portal,
No,
something.
actually, I got only one email where I can means like where I can join only these sessions. So and also recordings are available. But for LMS portal, I didn't get any email.
Yeah, I
And
think the
for
same
practice also,
credentials you can use the LMS portal, but you need to get the link. Can someone help out Rajni with the
Yeah,
LMS
yeah,
link?
Bharat. Where we click join now, under it, there is a tab. Go to LMS or go to my recordings. There will be the recordings LMS.
Yeah, Rajni, can you check that?
yeah, just now, okay, let me check. Again, for that, I should I leave this meeting?
No. After this meeting, also you can check. It is not mandatory now, right? Uh, Later also you can check that.
Okay. And also, sir, if any WhatsApp group is created, can you please like anyone can
No,
aid me in that?
as a ground rule, no, we did not create any WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, everything will be shared in the session and the links, and most point of contact is your coordinators.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Hope everyone created their individual organization structure. I think you are all practicing that area. Why I am saying this repeatedly? This is the beginning phase. From now onwards, you have to make a habitat of practicing each and every class as soon as today. Since it is 10:30 a.m. will be sorry 10:30 p.m. we are ending up the sessions daily. At least next day in the morning, like 6 o'clock, you can practice the session what we discussed in yesterday session, so that you will get a couple of doubts while you are having some practice. At the time of session in the class, you may not get any doubts or queries. When you practice at that time, you will having many doubts, you will raise many doubts, so that you can note it down and you can next day session, at the end of the session, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we will have some doubt session and we'll clear over that. That is the expectation from you. I'm requesting you actually. I can complete my session as per the content, but I want everyone to make practice. I'm stressing this point. That's the reason. Hope you will understand. Clear, right, everyone?
Yeah, Bharat.
Yes, yes. Okay. Let me share the screen first. First, we'll check the yesterday's error. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If you remember, yesterday we are facing an error while creating the material for respective customized material type. So we have resolved that. So I'll let you know how it was resolved. And it is like it not required to. It is a part of It is part of FICO, material ledger activation. But at the time of practice, you may be creating a couple of custom things. So that's the reason you should not stop your practice. I'll be letting you know what we have to do. OMX3, there is a transaction code OMX3 where whenever you create your organization structure, you will be having multiple plants, right? In my case, it is HBBP. In your case, as per your individual, you might be having any other 4-digit code in your practice time. That code you can mention in the valuation area. Hit enter. You can see here, if this is not maintained, you can go to the new entries and you can just maintain the valuation area as your plant and material ledger as a 9,000. You can see it as 9,000. You can see here it is 9,000. Once if you maintain and click on save, okay, and next is the top down, you can see the transaction code OMX3 OMX1. There is one more transaction. Here you can go to the plant which you updated there in OMX3. Come here and you can update this. You can flag this ML activation, this checkbox. You can flag it and you can determine the two. Two is nothing but transaction based. Okay, you can update this and you can save. After this, there is one more transaction called CKMSTART. Here you have to maintain your plan and in the exchange rate type, just update with M. Okay, exchange rate type is M, and you can remove these checks. First you try with the test run. Okay, first select the test run and execute. If everything is in green color, now already I have updated for HBBP, so I am not trying. I'm just giving you a overview of this. You can just select the test run checkbox and execute. Once you execute, you can see everything is green. I mean, there is no error messages. If you feel everything is green, come back and again remove this test run checkbox and execute. Again, everything will be run. Then HBBP will be activated for the material ledger. Okay, I have already updated, so I cannot update this. See, you can see that material ledger already productive in plan. So these are the basic steps you can update. So there will be no any interruption while creating material for the customized material. Now let me show you yesterday where we have stopped in that material. Mechanical and engineering, we will choose the industry sector and material type ZH. LR is the this is the custom material type yesterday we created. As I said, we can select all these screens default by clicking here. These are the main views. Organization level, plant, HBBP, and raw material is a storage location. Can maintain anything. Base unit measurements. As usual, you can create the new material. Just going the overview, as already we created the material already. And the difference is whenever you activate the material ledger, you can see the material prices per particular period in the accounting view. There will be changes only in the accounting view. As I said earlier, SAP ECC and S4 HANA, these are the versions, different systems, right? In earlier, this material ledger activation is optional, but in S4 HANA system, the material ledger activation is mandatory. That's the reason yesterday we faced that issue. So we set this plant as a productive in material ledger activation, and now we have to maintain the valuation class. What is the difference between the before activation and after activation of material ledger? Let's say for each company code there can have multiple currencies. One will be the here local currencies will be euro, and if they want to purchase externally with international vendors, there will be another INR currencies. So they can maintain three types of currencies. To evaluate this material in all three currencies, we activate the material ledger, which is some kind stuff of the FICO related, just for information purpose. Okay, you can maintain the valuation class as usual and come down and maintain the price control. Here the amount is like 100, 200, whatever the price. And system is saying that local currency converted to other currencies using current exchange rate. There will be exchange rates. Where you see one US dollars equal to 70 rupees INR, 77 or something accordingly. 1 euro, 1 pound. 1 pound is like 100 or 110 rupees something. Likewise, there will be some FI tables, FI transaction codes where they will maintain the exchange rates. So from there, this will be converted to the other currencies. I'm just giving information related to the FICO also. You can save as usual. This is how the error we can overcome with the errors. Okay, this is material master. Now, okay, let me change the screen sharing. Now we will go to the PPTs. What today we will be discussing. Okay. Here is the vendor master. Today we will be discussing the vendor master. I think you are able to see my PPT slides. This is SAP Business Partner, which is screening in the SAP S4HANA. See, vendor creation earlier in the ECC system, we used to create the vendor in XK01 transaction only separate, like vendor we can create in a separate transaction, and customer can be created in separate transaction. Likewise, there are different transaction. Coming to the S4HANA, going forward we'll be discussing only S4 HANA. Why? Because in the real time nowadays everyone migrating to S4 HANA, all the clients. That's the reason I'm not speaking much about the ECC and don't want to give you any confusion. Coming to the SAP business partner, in business partner where you can see, like you can create is the one place where you can create the vendor, customer, all these things, business partner and all. So that's the reason we are having one single transaction, that is BP, SAP business partner screening for SAP S4HANA is used centrally manage the master data for business partners like customers and vendors. The current element development, it is a single point of entry to create, edit and display. In the BP transaction itself, we can create the vendor or change the vendor or display the vendor, everything in the business partner. Now going to the other screen. Now we will try to create the configurations of vendor master. First, we will try to create any one of the vendor. Are you able to see my screen? I'm switching. I have switched it to
Yes, sir. Visible.
SAP screen. SAP screen, right?
Yeah, visible.
Now there is a transaction called BP, business partner. Okay, this is the screen you are able to see. We have to create with the organization. Okay. Person and group which is relevant to the SAP HR. Let's say employees. Now there are a couple of employees working in your company. For them, we are paying them, so we can treat them as a vendors. Why? Because they are providing their services. It is relevant to HR. So he is a person individually. So they will say HR, SAP HR model. They will select. They'll create the data in the persons. Now coming to the perspective, we will create vendors in the organization. Organization is nothing but the company. If you want to buy like Tesla cars or like some other anything like steel or aluminum, whatever the raw material or anything, we will purchase it from the vendors. Vendor is a organization, not an individual person. So we will be creating the organization. Business partner, the number will be generated internally. Business partner based on the number ranges which we configure in the backend. Once we create the vendor, later we'll go for the configuration part. This grouping when BP grouping, this also will be created in the backend. Now I have already created one, so we'll go with that. Okay, and these are the roles. Actually, if you remember, I said in the vendor creation there are three levels. One is the client level. Client is nothing but general or general data where we will be storing. Second is the company code level data, where the payments, vendor payments, and also accounting related will be seen. The third is the purchasing level, where the purchasing, ordering currencies, all the purchase organization level of this thing will be done. Likewise, if you see here, first we have to create the general data. The general data, first we have to choose the role, BP role, as the standard one is all six zeros. Six zeros is the general data which we can create as a BP role, all six. Okay. Here, basic things like address and also basic things will be created. Country keys, language key, and also the region. All the address details and all can be maintained over here. The city where it is. I mean the vendor where he has that company. Language key. You can maintain multiple language keys. So English or some other. You can expand. There are where additional details also you can maintain. We expand here, you can see like transportation zone or something. All this data can be like the mail IDs, fax numbers, extension, and other details, mobile number of that particular vendor. Status. I'll be discussing only the key things which are relevant. Those only. Even the other these are not important very much. We'll just maintain even the real time also. Whatever the data available for those things only we will maintain. The additional this and all. If the business providing this data, then only will be maintained. It's not okay. But coming to the status, if you here is a central block. If you block this, if you select this central block, you can block this vendor. You can block this vendor central. Okay. I mean, no one can use this vendor at the time of purchasing or whenever the other activities where they use the vendors. Okay, no, they cannot use this. If you block this at centrally, it will. Now click on the save. The vendor will be created at the general data level. You can see the business partner has been created 9900104. Now we have to create the company code level also. Company code level standard there is FLV and something is there. I think someone has deleted the standard one also. Let me show you the standard. here the standard one for the general one is BP role. BP roles for the general is constant 6. And for the company code data is LVM 00. And for supplier or purchasing VVs, LVM 01. Okay. These are the standard BP roles, which are the standard one for the general company code and supplier. Okay. Here, since this is a practice system, I think FLV, this and all, someone has deleted. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Once you created, you can see here the pencil mark. We can switch it now. Right now, it is in the display organization. Go to the change. Okay. Change. You can select here. Like yesterday, I have created one of the custom BP role. Here, this is the supplier accounting. This is the company code, accounting view, company code, general, both are same. As soon as you change the role, on the top, you can see here as a company code. There is a tab appeared, company code. Just choose that. Here, you can maintain a company code. For which company code this business, this vendor has to be created, you can maintain that. By default, I see there is something 1710 has been seen. You can delete that thing. No worries. Now you can enter that our company code HLBC. Okay, hit enter. Here the reconciliation account. Reconciliation account has to be maintained as. This is the standard one, and for your practice purpose also you can maintain this thing. In general, if you when you are creating in real time, FICO team, they will provide you on the reconcile account. Now, as of now, in the practice purpose, you can use this 160000. What is this reconcile account? We'll go through it. Okay. Reconciliation account in general accounting is the account which is updated parallelly to subledger account. See, whenever you do like goods receipt or invoice, there are postings we will be doing. Their backend, some accounting documents will be generated. In the accounting documents, if you go through the GL accounts, you can see the GL accounts. Even at the time of payment, now we have received the goods and you have to do some invoice processing. At the time of invoice processing, backend, you have to pay the amount to the vendor. So what is the link to pay to the vendor? Here, reconcile account acts as a medium, a link between the GL account and the vendor number. For this particular vendor number, we have to pay the amount. So whatever the vendor number created, that acts as a subledger account number, and the link is the reconciliation account number, and it will be posted to the particular GL account. That's the reason we are maintaining this reconciliation account. And status, vendor status, the same way we can block this company code data at all company codes are also selected company codes. We can select for this particular company. If we selected company codes, if we choose this for this HLBC, we will be blocking. Or else, if you choose all company codes, whatever the company codes maintained for this particular vendor, at all areas, it can be blocked. Once you create this, you can save. You can extend the same vendor to other company codes as well. Click on the company code. Okay, create. If you have any other company code on the adopt, okay, that is maintained. Switch company codes. Let's save. Let me save this thing. Okay, now switch company codes. Company code is HL. Okay, you can see this data which we have to maintain this thing. Let me go to the chain. HLSC. Okay, for one company code we maintain. Now let us create the one. So HLSC. One second, let me delete. I don't know why this is appearing. Okay, we have once we add up, we have to maintain the same data or other data also if you need, right? For individual company to company, the data may vary. We can maintain accordingly this data. Click enter and you can save them. Now, if you want to check the other company code, you can switch here. HL BC. Now you can see the data for this company code. This is HLBC. If you want to see HLSC, for HLSC, the data. Now save it, and we'll go to the. Now we'll create the purchasing view. First, we'll go to the general data. Here we'll select this role GDLVN1. This is the custom role which I created. Okay. You can see here purchasing. There is a new tab. As soon as I change the role to DDLVN1, I see the purchasing tab. Go to the purchasing tab. Now you can maintain the same vendor for this particular purchase organization. HPV is our purchase organization, where you can maintain the in the purchasing view, you can maintain the order currency and also the payment terms related to the vendor when we are going to pay these things and all. If you are paying as soon as the goods are delivery, you can pay net. And if you are delaying like of 14 days, then there is if you are paying within 14 days, there will be a 2% cash discount. Likewise, we are having multiple payment terms. Choose any one of the payment terms. And Incoterms, freight related, like till there will be a delivery, transportation and all, the charges will be by the vendor, or where all the freight related things, whether it will be delivered through shipping or uh, cargos, everything will be responsible by vendor only. He will be providing to the door delivery, like kind of freight related these things. This is the basic description you can maintain there. And the salesperson, for contact purpose, salesperson, you can maintain this salesperson and his number. And these are the basic details you can maintain. There are a couple of other options which we can select related, like automatic view. If I want to create the automatic view, we need to select these things. And also here you can see the status, where all purchase organization block status also. And these are the basic details. Okay, and one more thing is, uh, there is additional data, additional purchasing data there. Here we can maintain as a, if this vendor is plant relevant vendor, I mean, now if you are this case, this is the one scenario where we use at the time of stock transport orders while transporting the stocks. At that time I will let you know. At that, for that moments, let's say we are moving the stock from one plant. There is a stock available in one plant. If you want to move the same stock to other plant, in that cases, that is called stock transport. In that scenario we'll be discussing that. There is one other separate topic, so we'll discuss in that. As of now, this is the way to create the purchasing view for the vendor. And if you want to create some additional purchases organization also for this, you can create here. Click on the purchasing organization, create HSP. Copy. HSP. Order currencies, maintain payment terms as you like. Same or different data. It will vary from purchase organization to other purchase organization. Okay, if you go to general, now we have created the general data of the vendor, company code data of the vendor, and purchasing data of the vendor. Now go to the general data. Here in the top, you can see the business partner, a number is generated. But in the perspective, we will be using only the vendor number. Vendor number you can see here in the tab called vendor general data. This is the vendor number generated at the time of PO creation or PR creation. Whenever the in perspective, we need this number. We have to check this number only. Here, business partner number range is created based on the business partner group, and vendor number will be created based on the number ranges of the vendor account group. Now, backend will see the configurations, how this number ranges has been generated for this vendor number and also for the BP number. Okay. So far clear, I think we'll be moving there. The SPRO, we go to the cross application components, SAP business partner, basic settings, number ranges and groupings. First, we need to define number ranges. Intervals. We have to cross check the intervals and need to maintain. Now, I thought of creating it with the HH key. I'll check whether there is HH key already predefined and by, or created by someone. I'll check. I think no HH, so I will create HH. First, you have to click on this plus icon, insert line, go to the top. You can see here, HH is a number range key I'll be creating. And I thought of creating with this number range. Why? Because the remaining number ranges are already occupied or created by some other people. So I just want to create with this new number range. I have searched this. Okay, there is an overlap. Someone has used already that number, so I need to change again. Check. In real time, you can't see these many. There are only 3 to 4 lines you can see. Okay, again, it's an overlap.
Bharat sir,
Yes, yes,
Bhargav speaking here.
yes, Bhargav.
Sorry to say this, my network is completely down and not working. I'm using now my mobile data, which is not so far liable to trust. So I'll be leaving now.
Okay.
Once again, I'll check out my network and I'll come back.
Okay, okay.
Sure, sir.
Yeah,
Please
sure.
don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
4,006. 4,000. Check this. 4,000. Still, there is an overlap. I don't know.
Bharat,
Yes.
Swami here. So
Yes.
yesterday we talked about the T codes which you will be sharing, right? So and the material like what is the step for creating the company code purchase org, so that it will be easy for us. I requested
Yeah, I
yesterday,
shared
right?
today one material master PPT.
Material master PPT. I think it is
LMS portal.
material master is there. So I'm talking about the company code creation because we yesterday I told you the difficulties, right? What we face while we practice that in the SAP. So can you please share us the list of T codes? For example, if it is a company code which needs to be created, these are the T codes because you are using your say where we are okay with getting the things in the video recording. But for our for a quick recurrer
Yes, yes,
like
I have
anything,
already shared that PPT materials for
it
me.
is
Then in
not.
LMS portal, I think you can check that in LMS portal.
Oh, I think it is not showing.
No,
Okay, I will
others.
check. I will check. I will check. I
Yeah,
will.
others are you able to see? I mean, are you able to look into the material which I shared?
Yes,
Yes,
the T
some.
codes is there in the LMS portal only.
Yes, yes, in the PPT, I have shared a PPT.
In Excel sheet, it's given.
Okay, okay. You can cross check that one also. No worries.
Sir, one more thing, sir, about the videos. So it is not downloaded. So can you request the authorities if they provide
Uh,
us? Sir,
yeah,
our videos.
yeah, I think I do not have that. I mean, that authorization. If anything, access related, so that I can help you checking with them.
Yeah, that also required Bharat because see after this session, after this class getting over, if we want to refer or to see the recordings, we don't have it in our desktop. Okay, it is in the portal. We don't know how long the portal access will be with us after completion of this training program. Okay,
So
so if the recordings can be downloaded, it will be very useful for us. Someone
Yeah,
was
yeah, that is
saying
I'm
that.
not right person, Somnathan. Sorry to say this. You can check it with your coordinators actually. But the materials, are you able to download the materials
Yes, material I can
PPTs?
download, but the videos I cannot. It is not showing. I cannot download those because the portal that we have got, it's a remote portal, and so after completion of the training we cannot use that. So at least by watching the videos it would be better.
Yes, yes, I understood. But can you could you please check with the coordinates itself? Why? Because I'm not the right person to tell. That's the reason.
Okay,
can you
okay, sir.
please tell about how to use the SAP portal, the SAP software? I cannot able to practice the practice it.
No, I showed you right regarding the login. You are asking about the login to the SAP system, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right now I have just logged in, right?
How,
Okay, I'll show you.
you can log in to it, but we cannot able to log in. When I uh, put the remote server, then the password is incorrect or that someone issues
Okay, okay,
are arise.
that is different issue. Maybe from where you received this SAP access credentials.
In my mail,
So you can reply to the same mail saying that taking the screenshot and I have issue with this so and so.
okay. The the remote server is also not properly working.
Yeah, yeah. These are all some technical things. So you need to check with the support team only. Actually, now here we'll discuss
Okay.
only related to the SAP. Okay. All number ranges are utilized. Here one will check the number ranges. 4000 series, 3000 series. We last time HHGH. Oh, sorry. Okay, we will take this something number ranges from here. The 9 series will go. I think here we can see after this.
Bharat, this number series, what we are you're referring to is the vendor codes for the vendor codes.
No, this is for business partner. Two number ranges here, as I said. One is for the business partner, and the other one is a vendor number. This is for business partner. I'll show you again clearly once I create this. See, now I have created one number range starting with the starting with the 9 series 9301. This is 400. Okay. Now, whenever I create now business partner, in between only the
Okay,
BP
so
will be created.
where this business partner will play a role in vendor master?
No, in vendor master, it won't play a role. Actually, business partner itself are partners in the business, stakeholders. You might be hearing this, you might be heard this word, stakeholders. Stakeholders means like customer, your vendor, and also the shareholders, everyone. All those are combined called as a partners. So, in likewise, in general, that those are called as partners. Likewise, we have the business partners. Here, we are dealing with the customer vendor in the same place, that is called business partners. Like vendor is also one of the partner to us, and customer is also one of the partner. So SAP created a single transaction called as BP, business partner. First to the we have to create the business partner, then only backend vendor, this thing vendor number also will be created. So for this we have to create the number ranges for the business partner based on the business partner group. First, I have created the number range HA. Now, if you go back and we have to assign the same number range to the business partner group. Here you can see within the same path where we are defining the number ranges. Down you can see define groupings and assign number ranges. Here, if you go, we have to create the new entry. I think already we created this. Not sure. Yesterday, I think we created this thing. Okay, number range is HH. Just now I created, and I'm just assigning my number range to the business partner group. Go back. Now I will create the vendor account group related also. For vendor account related, go to the SPRO path in the implementation guide, come to the financial accounting, accounts receivable and accounts payable. Here vendor accounts, master data, preparations for creating vendor master data. Here you can look into here the number ranges, create number ranges for vendor account. Go to the intervals in the change intervals tab. Here click on this plus icon. Before that you have to choose whether the which number range is free or you can use. Okay. I think HH will go for the HH, which is the same key. Here no one has created HH. Okay. Now click on this plus icon, insert line, HH. This is the number range creating for the vendor account group. Remember, don't confuse for the business partner and vendor account. You can have the same number range key for business partner and vendor. Here we can have the same number for business partner and vendor master also. Here the number range, I cannot use the same number range. Why? Because this number range already used by someone, so that's the reason I am choosing other number range for vendor. Now I have chosen the number ranges HH. I have created that. Now I will assign number range for the vendor account group. Oh, sorry. Before that, we'll create new number range. Sir, vendor account group. There is one transaction called OMSG. Okay, here this is a standard vendor 0001. You can select and copy as, or else you can go to the new entries. Either ways. GHH. Now go back to the same path. In the financial accounting, accounts receivable and accounts payable, vendor accounts, master data.
Sorry to interrupt. I think you are going little fast because what I'm feeling here is my opinion. I don't know what about others. So what I know about I'm end user about the SAP. Okay, for me it's this one is like you're going to screens. Okay, fine. First we need to understand why that business area needs to be created or the cost needs to be created and why we need to assign that numbers for what how it plays the assignment of the numbers plays in the master. So if you could elaborate that, it will be easy for us because you are going like the steps which you are doing while creating the vendor master. Okay,
Yes.
so that is I'm okay with that. But if you know the people, I'm an end user, but I can grab little bit, not 100% till now. Okay, so first I need to understand why we are creating the master first. Okay, and why we are, this is the step which we need to create a master. For this we need to, for master creation we need a cost center. What is the cost center and what is the business area or business
Nowhere we
the
use the cost center, right?
no, just I'm saying, I'm giving an example like business
See, see,
in this
see.
like
As I said in earlier, why we are creating material, why we are creating vendor master. Now we won't come to know. Like in further scenarios, I mean further sessions, there are a couple of scenarios at the time of PO creation. There you will get to know. First, we have to create the data into the system. Then only we will get to know. Now, as I said, a material creation. At the time of first, I showed you the material creation. Okay, and I later I showed you the material type. Why we want to create the material type? Because of the variations, like if whether it is a raw material or finished or semi-finished. Likewise, we need the material types to segregate, I mean to segregate based on the characteristics of the material. That's the reason we are creating the material type. And material type is linked with the number ranges, and there is a one option for to have the external or internal number for the material number creation.
okay, that
Like,
material number, what that material number is defined for, what purpose the material number is defined.
yes, that is what you had a question like previously, why we are creating the plant. And later at the time of creation of material, I showed you why we created the plant. Not only in the material master, we are using the same data in multiple areas. This is the beginning. You will not know right now. Further, like 5 or 6 classes sessions, you'll be knowing at the time of PO creation why we are creating all this data. You'll know at that time, at that point of time. You just wait for 2 or 3 classes. Okay.
Okay, because here when I see you're saying you're giving the ranges, the then you're assigning that numbers, the number range. So that this is little bit confusing here for me.
Yes,
So
this is
what you
totally not only for you. Those who are learning SAP MM, for everyone it will be confused. This all the data we are still creating, generating or creating, defining some data into the system. Once we have these things, we are still not into the main part of the purchasing into the SAP MM. This is just a beginning. We are not yet moved into the purchasing or the metals management. There, once we enter into the core, there we use all this data. There you will get to know why we are created all this data.
Okay, okay. That is what my
Yes, yes.
concern.
Not only for you, you have a right question. Why? Because at this moment, not only for you,
Because it should
also
not be
having.
like that time I should not raise this question right after 4 to 5 classes. So I want to just clear
No, no, no. See,
from my.
I don't worry. Even if you have any concern, still completion of this class, I am happy to clear your doubts and all. Please don't. Please feel free asking any queries. There is no irritation of those things. You can ask at any point of time these errors, so that I will help you. Now it is quite common to have all these errors. You will be saying that why we are creating material, why we are creating vendor. Maybe at the some when we enter into the core part of the SAP MM, you will get to know all these things. And still, if you have any queries at that time also, I will answer. Okay.
Sure, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Any other queries for others as well? So far, why we are creating these things, you will come to know into the next 2 or 3 cases as scenarios. Okay. Now we'll go to the number range assigning to the vendor group. Now already I created a number range HHP. Master data, preparation for changing vendor master data. Here you can see, oh, sorry, I think into the wrong this thing. Okay, same. Preparation for create vendor master. Here you can see we have created number ranges. This already we have done. Coming to the assign number ranges, just execute this thing. Z HHL, we have created new number range. By default, we'll see L8 number range. Why? Because we copied it from 0001. That's the reason. We can see HH is the new number range which we have created. We can assign that and save it. And one more thing is, now we have to map or synchronize the business partner and vendor master. So if we see into the business partner which we created, we see here, I did not mention any account group or anything over here in the vendor or general data. I just maintain the address, but system automatically created this vendor number and also the account group. So we have to maintain this business partner with the vendor account group. So this automatically, this data will be created. That's the reason we have to map. For that, here we have the path. Go to the SPRO implementation guide, cross applications components. If you come little bit down, master data synchronization, here synchronization control and synchronization control again. If you come little bit down, sorry, not here, it is in the customer, in the same path, master data synchronization is in the customer vendor integration, business partner settings, and settings for vendor integration, field assignment for vendor integration, assign keys, define number assignment for direction BP to vendor. If you just execute this, go to the new entries, CHHL. Okay, this is the business partner group. On the right side, you can see the vendor account group. The same with the same code I have created, CHHL. Okay. Here, right side, you can see two checkbox, same numbers. You have to select this whenever you require the same BP number, if you go here into the vendor master, if you want the same number as a business partner number and also the vendor number, then you have to choose this. You have to choose this checkbox, same numbers. Okay, now I cannot choose this checkbox. Why? Because I tried to check the number ranges in both BP account and also the vendor account, but someone has utilized it already. Those shufflings has happened. That's the reason I have used different number ranges. So I cannot choose this option. On the right side, you can see flexi group, where if you go to the vendor master, you can see the vendor account group. It is a display mode, grayed out mode. You cannot change this. If you choose that option over there, flexi group, you can change or you can modify that in the vendor master, vendor account group. Okay, let me save this. You are mapping business partner group and also the vendor account group. I have just saved this. Now we'll try to create the new vendor for these groups. Go to the transaction BP, organization. The group which we created is ZHHL. ZHHL. First, we have to create the general data. So I'm choosing 6 zeros as a BP role. We'll create the company. And the data, you have to maintain the address and all other details. Country keys, language keys. This data will be provided by the business itself. Postal code, city, country key. Hit enter and save. Now go to the change option. You can see here the pencil icon. You can go to the change. Here choose the business role as supplier or accounting. As soon as you choose, you can see here there is a vendor general data here, which is a modifiable. Once you create the company code, later we can check this. First we'll create the company code data. By default 1710 some other company has been there. We can delete that and we choose our own company, which is maintain the reconciliation account. And basic data, I am just giving here the basic details. Create account group. See, this is modifiable. Why? Because I have choose this as a flexible. There is a checkbox in the other screen. That's the reason this is modifiable. We have created a vendor account group which is ZHHL. If you enter, once you save this, you can see the vendor number. It is internally it will generate. Let me save this. There is something city or something I'm missing. Data. I think it's company code or somewhere some data is search term field is okay. In the general data, there is search term field. This is the one. Okay, now we have saved. Go to the vendor general data. One internal number has been generated. I have selected the range from 4501 to the 5000, I think so. So it has started from here. And this also I have started from the business partner number range from 9301. Now for the same, You can create or extend the purchasing view also. We have to change first. We have to go to the changing of BP role. Here you can see DDLVM. In real time, we have to choose the standard one or also the customized one. The standard one I showed you, like FLVN01 standard one for the purchasing view. Go to the purchasing tab, maintain the purchase organization, maintain the order currency, the details in the purchasing view. Save. These are business purpose. Let me delete. Likewise, if we save, the vendor will be created. These are the vendor partner functions. This I will let you know in the next after creating this vendor partner functions. Let's say now you are purchasing any material in the market. You will raise a purchase order. Once you raise a purchase order from vendor side, they will be receiving the purchase order and they will be looking into the purchase order. So and so company has ordered 100 quantity. Okay, likewise. So the purchase orders will be ordering address will be one person. In within the vendor, there will be multiple companies again. One address will be they will be taking the orders, and the other will be providing the supplying the materials, and the other will be sending the invoices. The other one will be the payments will be doing. The vendor is the same, but internally they will be having 3 or 4 groups again within the vendor. One will be supplying the goods, one will be sending the invoices, one will be receiving the purchase orders. Likewise, these are the relevant to those partner functions. We call them as partner functions. There is some issue with Z. Right now I copied with the double 0001 vendor account group. That's the reason the same roles has been copied, and some issue with the 0001. That's the reason this is normal issue. Let me save this. It will show it again. So we'll go to the SPRO settings and we can do that. There is one area. Generally you can't see these many errors. See, once if you get many errors, that is the if you resolve all those errors, that is the key part of the functional consultant. As many as issues you get and you will be resolving. Business partners, there should be business partners. Should be some vendor partners. And these are in partner determination, partner roles. Yeah, give me a second. Some call. I'm sorry. Let me share the screen again. Okay, are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Partner roles. Define partners in purchasing documents. roles. Here are the partner roles. Like OA is the ordering address. This is not only for the vendor master, for customer related partner roles also. For our we have issue for the OA ordering address. Okay, here this is the way. These are all again will be assigned somewhere in the permissible account groups. So if we go to the OA is the ordering address and our accounting group is ZHHL. So there is nothing maintained. That's the reason the issue. Once I maintain ordering address, also Z. So and there is another one also PA or something like see vice presented by will maintain for this also. Why I am maintaining these things? Because we seen some error and there is a concept also partner functions that I will let you know. As of now, just to complete the vendor creation, I'm showing this. There is some topic related to the partner functions that also I will let you know. Which is the vendor that we business partner we created. 9.3 now. Change mode. Go to the purchasing. The role I have selected supplier role. Go to the purchasing. Actually, I did not create it. Why? Because we had some error, right? Now I'll try to create again. This is the description of the input term. This data all will be provided from the business only. This is not, you cannot maintain your own data, these things in the real time. This is all the data purely provided by the business. And save. Now it has been saved. Why? Because we had earlier this OA ordering address partner function is not maintained for the particular vendor account group. That's the reason we had issue. And why we have to maintain this partner function when it is required, that and all we will discuss in another class. As of now, you just need to create the vendor master, and while creating the vendor master, how the number ranges will be triggered. Now you can see the vendor number has been created to while defining this vendor number, we need to maintain the number ranges need to maintain based on the account group, like how we created the materials with respect to the material type number ranges. Likewise, for vendor also, we are having a word called vendor account group. With the help of this vendor account group, we'll be assigning the vendor number ranges so that vendor number will be generated internally. And same way like business partners as well. Business partner we will be just, it is a mapping to the vendor number, but we'll be always using the vendor number only at the time of PO creation or some other. We'll see that you need to remember, and we will be using only the vendor number actually. Save this. Likewise, we can maintain the other purchasing view also. Create. Just speaking. Purchasing view. Okay. Okay, this is how to create the vendor master. So far, if you have any queries, please let me know. As of now, you forgot like why we are creating the material, why we are creating the vendor. You just know how to create the material, how to create the vendor. You please focus on these areas like creation of organization structure, creation of vendor, creation of material. Focus on this. Going forward, you'll let to know why you have created all this. Okay. If you have any queries, please let me know. We will discuss those also regarding the vendor master. Next, we have the purchase info record and other things as well. Okay. Before moving to those areas like purchase info record and source list, we'll have a dinner break and we'll come back. Okay. Right now it is the time is 8:30. We'll meet at like around 9 o'clock. Okay, 8:55 or 9 o'clock. Please come back sharply at 9 o'clock since we are having many topics to discuss and still we are in the beginning phase. There are many other topics we have to discuss more. That's the reason. Okay, we'll be back at 9 o'clock sharply. Thank you. Okay, now we will discuss regarding the purchase info record and source list. People are joining. Shall we start? Swaminath, are you there? Sai Kumar, Swaminath.
Yes, Bharat, I am there.
Yes, Akshay.
Yes, sir,
Kalyan.
we are here.
Yeah, so that let's shall we start again?
We'll wait for another 2 or 3 minutes,
Yes,
Bharat,
yes.
then we'll start because we
Yes,
said
yes.
right 9 o'clock we will assemble, right?
Yes,
We'll
yes.
give time for the others to join the call.
Okay, okay.
Bharat sir,
Yes, please.
Bharat sir, what are the major entries that we require to fill while registering for the vendor registration? Can you please tell?
Sorry, come again.
What are the major entries that we require to fill while registration for the vendor?
You mean to creation of vendor?
Yes, yes. What are the major entries that we require to fill?
Yes, as I showed, no, there are three ways. One is the general data. In the general data, you can basic things you can update like vendor address, language keys, country keys, postal address. These are the basic things we need to maintain in the general view. Coming to the company code, reconciliation account will be fine as of now in the practice, but the
Okay.
remaining data will be updated by the FICO,
Okay.
which is relevant to accounting teams. They
Okay.
will be but as of now for practice we need that view also, so that's the reason we updated reconciliation account field.
Okay.
And coming to the purchasing view, ordering ordering currencies, import terms, these are the mandatory things. Purchasing group,
Okay.
these are
And
the basic things we have to
and,
update and create the vendor.
and who define the grouping?
Vendor grouping will be defining by consultants.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
okay. From now onwards, I'll do one thing. Before going to any process, I will let you know who is the role done by this and by
Yes.
this. Okay,
Okay. Sir.
that
Okay.
will help you. Okay,
Thank you.
yeah. Whatever like creation of material is the front end, which is created by the end user, and also creation of vendor. It's also end user part, and the backend number ranges and the configuration of material type. This and all by the consultants. Okay, let us begin. Purchase info record. Next topic is purchase info record and source list. If you go back, we have seen that there are types of master data: material master, vendor master, purchase info record, source list, and quota. Likewise, we discussed about the material master, material creation, and also the material type and how to assign the number ranges. And next into the vendor master, we were discussing about the vendor creation and the vendor account group creation, and also the business partner groups and all. How the number ranges system will generate. We have defined the number ranges as well. That is the two scenarios of the master
Okay,
data. It will
Bharat,
be
sorry to interrupt at this moment. See, I have a clarification. See,
yes,
on the numbering, you said, right, the vendor numbering, we given the number range, right?
yes,
So
yes.
if that is the range which we are giving, for example, if it's 500 to 510,
Okay.
okay. So when we create another vendor, so it will bypass that 510 and then 511 only it will take, or it will in meantime it will create the range which we selected.
No, no, no. Actually, it will bypass. See, now there is a range for 1 to 500. Now you have created a vendor, and vendor number 1 has been generated. So it is allocated totally for the particular vendor which you created. Number 1 is already created for particular number.
No,
Next
we are
time when
given
you
the range,
create,
right? That numbering range like 500 to 550 we have given, right?
yes,
So that one I am asking whether the system will block that one for the particular vendor, or it will
no, based
five.
on the vendor account group, based on the vendor account group only, that number ranges will be blocked. You see, if you see, there is a vendor account group we created, right? A ZHL, right? So whenever we select that, when we change that vendor account group, the number range also will be vary, will be changing. You got my point?
Okay, okay.
Based on the vendor group only, the number range will be creating. And now we have number range from 1 to 500. We are creating any vendor for particular vendor account group, ZHL or something. We have already assigned the number ranges to vendor account group, right? So for that, whatever the number range assigned to the particular vendor account group, and when you are creating the vendor for that particular vendor account group only, the defined number range will be triggered internally. First it will create with 1 and later with 2, like subsequently 1 2 3 likewise it will create. Once we complete 500, and again we have to change the number ranges. If it will all the numbers has been completed, then again we have to check and update. In real time, these numbers will be like till 10 digits of range, till 10 digits. So there will be no question of completing the number ranges in real time.
Okay.
Okay, purchase info record, it contains the information about a vendor and material. So far, you might be having multiple doubts or confusion why we are doing all this part in the system. Purchase info record, source list, material, vendor. Okay, first I will go to the basics again. If you remember in earlier sessions, I told you, like you have a business, mobile shop business and mobile manufacturing company. Let's say you are having some mobile manufacturing company. You don't have SAP implementation. You don't have SAP software. So SAP is implemented into your business. SAP will understand what is your business. What are the scenarios you do in your business? It is mobiles, right? First you will manufacture. Manufacture means production will happen. So their SAP production planning module will be occurred, and also procuring. I mean, you have to purchase the raw materials and the store the stock and that materials management will be involved. So SAP module also. And coming again to the sales, you will sell the material, mobiles and all. So SAP HD model also involved. Likewise, whatever all the business doing in your mobile company, mobile manufacturing unit, all those models will be implemented at the time of SAP implementation. So coming, if we after all that, coming to the SAP if you go to our particular department SAP module, here, our process is like procuring P2P. Our cycle is P2P cycle. As I said earlier, purchase, purchase to payment or procure to payment. Procure to payment. Procuring. Our part is like uh, we have to check the stock, like whether the stock is available in the storage location, or if someone is requesting the stock is done, or let's say raw material. If you are manufacturing a mobile, you need some iridium or aluminum, some speakers or some whatever the raw materials to manufacture a mobile. Production planning team, they will be producing this all these things, but in between there will be some lack of raw material. There will be a deficiency or like lack of raw materials, so we have to purchase that raw material outside with the vendor. Generally in market we will purchase the raw material from the vendor only, like panels of the mobile or batteries of the mobile. Likewise anything, I'm just giving you example. So here PP team will request team, purchasing team, we are having deficiency of so and so batteries, so and so panels, so could you please get this requirement by so and so date. So what we will do, purchasing team, I'm just giving this orally. Purchasing team will go and check with the vendors, ask the vendors to provide 100 quantity of whatever the quantity requested by production team, and they will try to purchase from the vendor batteries, panels, whatever the requested. So again, for particular material battery, from the vendor A, let's say Exide or Amaron. So these are vendors in the market. From them, we will raise the purchase order. Once we raise the purchase order, like for 100 batteries from the Amaron vendor, we will receive the 100 quantity. Then we will receive the goods receipt. Once we receive the goods receipt from vendor, we'll store the stock in particular storage location. Now I am taking just example of 100 quantity in real time in business scenarios. There are n number of businesses in worldwide, not only the mobile, some other. Okay, they have to store the quantity or bulk materials whenever they receive it from the vendor. So they used to store in the storage locations or godowns, warehouse somewhere there. That is the reason we receive the goods and will be placing the store materials and everything in the storage locations. After that, we have purchased batteries, 100 batteries, and now it is time for the payment. So invoice processing is the next step, and we will pay the for 100 quantity of battery to the vendor. This is general cycle. So now you see why we created this organization structure, because we need the plant, for which plant you are ordering and for which storage location we have to store these things. That's the reason we need this data and all, and also for which material you need to purchase, from which vendor you need to purchase. All this data first, before going to the core, we have to maintain all this data into the system. So that is what this is the beginning phase. We are maintaining all this data, and going to the core, you will get understand all these details. Okay. So far, any queries? Hope now, if we go to the other master data here, you can see the purchase info record. What is purchase info record? It contains information about a vendor and material. It has some data or some kind of information. What kind of information we can see? We can store like prices, delivery time, when it will be delivered, net prices of that particular material from the vendor. Vendor and material specific data will be maintained in the info record. Why this is maintaining? There is a purchase info record because it will help for the buyer at the time of purchasing. The data or information maintained in the purchase info record, this will help for the buyer or purchaser at the time of purchasing. That's the reason we will maintain the purchase. We will create or maintain the purchase info record. And also the source list, we have one more thing. It contains information of a single material for a particular plant about desired vendors. Okay, we'll maintain the source list for one material. And source is nothing but in the name itself, you can say where the material from, you get, from where you get the material, from vendors will get. Vendor we call it as source. There will be vendor A, B, C. Likewise, for particular material, we can maintain the source list, and we can make the vendor as a for particular period. We can make that vendor available for particular period, and also we can fix that vendor saying that he is the fixed vendor to purchase so and so material. And also we can block that vendor only for particular after that period. We should not buy this material from this vendor, blocking of that vendor. So these kind of activities can be maintained in the source relation. These are two things. First, if we go to the system purchase info record, let me share the screen. There is a transaction code ME11 for the purchase info record. Okay. Purchase info record will be maintained based on the vendor, material, and purchase organization and plan. First, in the input selection, we need to maintain the vendors. We can here in the F4, if you forget the vendor number, here if you go, if you just there is a shortcut key called F4 from the keyboard, or else in the drop down you can see here, you can get it from the drop down. Okay, here if you remember, just like any country, based on the country or postal codes name, you can have the data accordingly. Now I don't remember the vendor number name or anything, but I know the purchase organization. So I'll go to the I'll search based on the purchase organization. HSPP HP. This is the purchase organization. With this purchase organization, I have created particular vendors. So I'll search with this criteria. Let's see how many vendors I get. Okay, these are the vendors, which is for the HPBP. And I'll take any one of the vendor. And I want to buy the material from this vendor. So this I am storing this data. And material also, I'll try to check with the plant. Based on the material type also you can check. ZHL. And purchase organization, HPBP. If you see now, you have to maintain the same purchase organization which is created for the vendor. Let's say I am taking another purchase organization, HSBP, then system will not allow. If you want to allow this, you have to extend the HSBP purchase organization to the vendor. You have to create that purchase organization for this vendor. Then the system will allow. And also the plant. Here you can see categories. There are type of procurement, special procurement. First one is the standard normal procurement, and the other one is subcontracting process. This is the process where you will be giving the let's say now you are manufacturing mobiles. You do not have time or machine or something resources, so you will give to the third party or other company to produce the mobiles and get back the finished product. First, you will send all the raw materials or components to the third party or subcontractor. He will make them assemble, or he will create he will manufacture the mobiles, and he will send them back to you. That is called subcontracting. Pipeline. Anytime if you are purchasing any pipeline materials like gas, water, and also like oil, like those kinds, that is called pipeline procurement. And also the consignment. Consignment is nothing but it will, vendor will send you the goods, okay, and you will not be consume, you will not consume the goods how much on particular day. Maybe in some other day you will consume how much you want, okay. Whatever the goods you consume, for that goods on quantity only you will be paying. That is called consignment. For each and every scenario, there is a special procurement that we will discuss later, okay. First we will create with the standard normal purchase order, normal POs, okay. First we'll create the standard purchase info record. We have to maintain the data. First we have to maintain vendor, material, purchase organization, plan, and hit enter. Here, these are the supplier data. You can see here it is. These are the fields relevant to the supplier data. You can maintain the supplier data details. First reminder. Okay, when we have to send him the reminder after sending the purchase order when the goods will be received. Let's say he want to, as per the agreement, he will be delivering the goods today. Even though today is we didn't receive goods, the first reminder should go after 1 day. Second reminder should go after 2 days. Third reminder should go after 3 days. How much? How many? What is the criteria you mentioned? Accordingly, the reminders will be sent. And also the supplier material number. These are the few fields. I'll be covering only key fields. This is also not a key field, but still I'll let you know. Supplier material number. Let's say now vendor also having SAP system, and in his not only SAP, any other system, he is also maintaining some material numbers in his system, in his ERP tool, whatever in the system. So you can maintain that material number. Likewise, salesperson, telephone, all those vendor details. This you can maintain. Ordering unit, this will be pulled it from the material master. And next go to the purchasing data. The here the planned delivery time, in how many days it is planned to deliver. In 3 days. Okay, 3 days, 2 days accordingly. Purchase group, you have to maintain the purchase group. Standard quantity, minimum, I mean, this is the standard quantity. Regularly, how much you'll be ordering with the vendor. Minimum quantity, minimum means at least I want to buy with this quantity. Less than this, vendor will not accept. Minimum quantity. Shipping instructions, if anything you can add on, like handle with care. Or maximum vendor can deliver 1,000 quantity in particular. That's maximum quantity. Tolerance limits under delivery or over delivery. This yesterday what we discussed in the purchasing values is the same. And also the net price. What is the net price? In the material master, we will be maintaining standardly. But in the purchase order, this is the net price will be fixed. It is the one system give priority at the time of raising purchase order. This is the net price system will be priority. So you can maintain. And import terms also you can maintain. Import term definition also we need. And you can save it. Now purchase info record has been created. Now going to the source list. This is just a information, purchasing information related to the material and vendor, which will be stored in the purchase info record. If you want to change for the any data for the created info record, ME tool is the transaction code, which we can change the data for the created info records. This is the info record number, and this is the data. If you want to make any changes, you can make changes accordingly. This is the general data tab, and if you want to make changes in the purchasing tab, you can also make here quantity changes or anything, and accordingly you can save. For the display purpose, we have transaction ME30, the purchasing purpose, just to display the purchasing purpose. Text, these are the text we'll just maintain. This is for the vendor purpose. We'll maintain like how the material should be, and it should be in pieces or delivery notes. You can mention as like delivery notes. And now this is the purchase info record. This is a basic normal purchase info record is a normal concept of it. This is and also coming to the source list, ME01 is a source list. We will maintain the sources for this particular material and plan. I mean, who are the sources? Who are the vendors available for us to provide this material? ME01 is the transaction code where we will maintain the material plan and click on enter. And you can see, you can maintain the validity from when onwards we can purchase with this vendor, or else you can purchase only for this vendor only within this period, valid from two, within this period only till June 30th only I can procure material, this material from this vendor with between this period only. After May, sorry, after June, in July we cannot purchase this material from this vendor, system will not allow. So you can extend this validity or you can maintain. And if you like all the vendor delivery terms and everything, even the vendor is providing in a regular time, then you can mark this fixed vendor. Fixed vendor means you can fix this vendor saying that okay, we can whenever we procure for this material, automatically system should fetch this vendor. Okay, in that way we will use it. Okay, this is the maintenance of purchasing. Block. You can see right side there is one more check mark. Block. Block means whenever you are procuring this material, system will not allow to purchase that material from this vendor if you choose this option. If you select this indicator, that is the. And if you have another vendor, you can maintain another vendor also who is maintaining. So, 6. And also you can mention the period as well from today. You can make this vendor as fixed or else this vendor as fixed likewise. If you don't like this vendor, you can block him as well likewise. Let's save it. This is usage of source list and purchase info record. These I just told you the usages. Now we'll go to the P2P cycle and we'll start one by one process how it happens. So far clear, I think, right? If you have any queries, please let me know.
So Bharat, so we have added a vendor who are providing us the same material, right? So
Yes.
for example, if A vendor we have added into the list, but we receive the same material from the B vendor. When we select that material purchase log, system will not allow, correct?
Yes, yes. No, this is at the this concept is not at the time of receiving goods receiving. This is at the time of purchasing itself. At the time of PO creation, system will show error saying that this vendor has been blocked. So when you procure a material, you need to mention that from whom, from which vendor you need to procure this material. Right. At that time, if vendor is blocked in the source list, system will show a error message. This vendor is blocked to purchase this material.
Okay.
There is the usage in next session. I will come to know what is the exact usage of these things. Okay. I think most of you are clear with this thing. Now we'll go to the main part. Now if you remember back, there is a P2P cycle which we discussed, purchase requisition. Okay. Now we'll start creating the purchase requisition. This is the cycle which generally or daily happens in the businesses. Now, let's say you are a SAP consultant. Now you will be assigned to any of the project, like Volvo or any other project you will be assigned. What you do, as a consultant, you have to support the end users. You have to support the end users on the daily errors, whatever they generate while they do these business processes. I think there are a few people, end users, those who are working in this class. Anyone, can you please speak about the role, in which business you are working or anything? You can share your experience. I think there are a couple of end users in our class, those who are working as an individuals.
Sir.
Yes, yes.
I am working in this P2P process, that is procure to pay process.
Whose name?
Mayank.
Oh, okay, Mike. Yes, Mike.
So
What is your role, Mike?
actually, there are 5 steps in this P2P process we have, na?
Okay.
First is that we get the purchase requisition, and this purchase requisition they made from ME51N.
Yes, yes.
It is an internal document. Okay.
So, okay, do one thing. Whenever you are, what is your role? You create purchase requisitions, or what is
No,
what you?
actually, I am working in a procurement department. So my role is to procure to create purchase order.
Okay, okay. You are creating purchase order regularly. Okay,
Yes, yes.
okay.
And
When you
then
are creating purchase orders, if you get any error messages and you don't know what you will do.
then we consult our IT department.
Yes, that is the point. IT department. Who is IT department? SAP consultants.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
They are SAP consultant.
Yes, yeah, yes, Mike. I'm just letting others also to know. That's the reason I took you as example. So Mayank is a currently end user. He is working. He is having business. Okay. So he's as an end user. He used to create the purchase orders. Whenever he create the purchase orders, he will get some errors, or he has some new requirements within the purchase order. So, as Mike said, he will consult with the IT team. Here, the IT team is who we only SAP consultants. Like SAP MM consultant, he will deals with the P2P cycle, and SAP HD consultant, he will deal with the sales and distribution related sales order and that related. On production planning, they'll be looking into the planned orders on that. Like for each and every module, there has their business departments. So their business department, those who are handling the business, those are called end users. And whenever we want to support the end users, they will raise an incident or ticket to consultant, and we will help them in creation or any new customization or backend configurations for the new development or anything. Thank you, Mike. Okay, this is what happens in the P2P cycle. First, we'll go purchase creation of purchase requisition. Let me share my screen. We'll create the purchase requisition as of now. There is a transaction called ME51N for creation of purchase requisition.
Agat, your
Screen is not visible.
Oh, sorry, I didn't share. Yeah, I changed the screen. Sir, thank you. Thank you. Once again, let me share this. Whenever I change this PPT to other window, that I have to change again screen share. No, I think you are able to see the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is from now onwards. Whatever all doubts you have, no, one by one you will get clear. Most of you are end users. Okay, you know what is purchase requisition, but still there are few people very new to the SAP. So I want to start everything from the scratch itself. What is purchase requisition? Will go each and everything, and how many types of ways there are ways to create the purchase requisition. Okay, purchase requisition is an internal document. It is an internal document which, as I said earlier, you are creating like you are manufacturing the mobiles. So from the production team, there is a requirement saying that, okay, we are lack of or deficit of some raw material to manufacturing mobile. We need batteries, we need this, we need panels, this and all. Okay, there is a requirement from production team. And first we will have the requirement from the production team, and we'll create the purchase requisition. Okay, whenever a material or service, not only I can say material, business, I said like businesses, right? SAP will be used in multiple businesses. Few businesses, like if you are going to the Volvo automobiles, they'll be manufacturing cars. If you go to the pharmaceuticals, they'll be manufacturing the drugs or medicines. Okay, accordingly, if you go to the flight, there they will not flight. Air Asia or some spice jet. They will not be manufacturing anything, but they provide services. But still, they will implement the SAP. So that's the reason I am saying whenever a material or service is required in an organization. Now you have a machinery in your business. You'll be manufacturing something. And your machine, sometimes you need overhauling or some servicing for your machines, then you need to procure the services also. Some outside people come, mechanics, and come and they'll have some services. I mean, they'll do some servicing to your machines. That is called services. That's the reason I am saying towards, whenever a material or services is required in an organization is in your business, then request is raised for getting the material or service. Request is raised for getting a material or service, which is known as purchase requisition. Okay? Purchase requisition is an internal document, which is an internal document, which is not sent to the vendor. Okay, this is still in internal only. Okay, once you are okay with this purchase requisition after creation and everything is okay, then you will convert this purchase requisition to purchase order, and that purchase order will be sent to the vendor. Okay, now this is the basic thing of purchase requisition. We can create the purchase requisition in the transaction code ME51N. That is one way. This is manually we will create ME51N. One more thing, there is another way. Automatically also we can create. Purchase requisition can be created automatically through MRP also from production team. As I said, SAP PP module. From there in, there is a concept called material requirement planning that we will discuss going forward. It is an integration concept between MM and PP. There is a concept like MRP, material requirement planning. Okay? Through that material, when we run the MRP, system automatically generates the PRs. That is also one way automatically. Third one is the PRs can be created in other models, like at the time of sales order creations or at the time of plant maintenance order. In other models, whenever they're creating any other back-end purchase equation will be, let's say now in the PP, I gave you a example saying that PP people needed, they have lack of some batteries or panels for the mobile manufacturing. So whenever they run MRP, automatically PR will be created. I think, see, they will not go to the desk of purchase person and they will not ask him create the purchase order or purchase request for so quantity. Now everything is systemized. They just create the production. They'll run the MRP and system automatically generates the PR. They don't want to go to the desk of other purchasing team and they'll not request verbally or anything. In the system itself, they once they run MRP, automatically backend purchase request will be generated. That is another way, and manually we can create ME51N. Okay, first we will try to create the purchase requisition, and will see what is this document type and why we need to, this and all are required. First we will create the purchase requisition for material which we have created. I forgot actually the material which I created, so I'll just go with the material name. See, these are the aluminum materials. If you do not remember the material numbers, you can just type the material description and accordingly you can select. Quantity, how much quantity you want to purchase this material? 100 quantity or 20 quantity, whatever the quantity. Plant, for which plant you are purchasing this thing? HBBP, this plant. And for which storage location? RAW. Who is the purchasing group? H. Okay. Likewise, okay. Now this is how we create the purchase requisition. Let me save this. You will maintain the basic details like material, quantity, delivery date, and plan. This delivery date we can maintain, and the plan, for which plant and for which store location, and who is the purchasing group. These things and all will be maintained. Okay. Here we can maintain the vendor. It is optional. We can maintain or may not maintain the vendor. Here is the option. This is the basic details. We will create the purchase equation. Okay. First we'll create. And now This is the number created. If you see here, you can see the icon. Click here, other purchase equation, and go and mention the purchase equation number. Click on enter. Here, this is one way to check the purchase equation. Or else, if you want to change this thing, there is a transaction called ME52N, where you can go to the other purchase equation. Please enter your purchase equation. Click on other documents. You can see the created purchase equation, and if you need it to change anything, you can make the changes to the purchase equation, like changing the quantity or the delivery date, likewise basic processing. Okay, now we will discuss key things in the purchase equation. At the top, you can see document type. Document type. There are multiple document types. NB is the standard document type. NB is the standard document which is used to procure for the direct consumption, direct procurement. Directly, this is the standard document we will be creating for the standard procurements. And in purchase equation, we have three parts. One is the header. Header level, we can maintain the text related header notes. Okay. Header notes related to this purchase equation, you can maintain this thing. One is the header, and another is item overview. Okay. Here we can maintain multiple items. Here you can see material 612. Here you can maintain one more item, like one more material. Plan. I think that is maintained HFP. Okay, now I don't know this material is maintained in which plan. So how will check? If you remember last time, I told you the table name MARC. This is 16N MARC. Recall these things in the last session we discussed. Maintain the material notes 2541. 2541. Execute. This is maintained in 4321. Okay, this is not created by me, some other created. This plant is not. Okay, I'll take another material. And I have created this, not these things. Steel, we'll go to the other material, steel or something. This one I have created. Storage location as raw material. Now I have created two line items. One is one material. First line item is something aluminum, one material, and another one is steel. Steel is 10 quantity, 10 inches, and for aluminum 50 meters. Likewise, accordingly. This is just example data I am maintaining. In real time business, this purchase equation is created by the end user only. They will be having their own data and they will be maintaining these things. This is at item overview. This will be data. Item level of data will be same. At item overview, the third you can see here, it has item details. I mean, in details for each line item. You can select here for first line item. You can go to the material data. You can see is it is material group for this material. If any batches are the batches, and also the short text of the material, likewise quantities and dates. 50 quantity, and delivery date is 29. Requested date is today is requested. Likewise, valuation 900. In the if you see into the material, we have maintained some price. Okay, that is price. Source of supply. If you this data will be fetched from the source list. Just now we discussed about the source list maintenance. ME01 creation of source list for particular material vendors. Once we maintain the source list, then only this data we can get it from them. And status of this material just created. As of now, it is just created. It is not blocked or nothing. Status contact persons. I mean, it is created real time. Created by who? This is my SAP user ID. Created by me. This is my SAP user ID. Okay. Created. It is created manually. If it is created through MRP, you can see some other details like the production or some other. You can see from where how it is created. Right now, it is created manually. So real time manual. Purchase group MRP. These are the basic text item text. This is aluminum. I can mention wrap the aluminum. Aluminum. Okay. Any notes we can mention. Delivery address. Here, most probably it will be the plant address. If you go here, if you remember at the time of plant creation, you'll be maintaining the plant address. So for line item 1, what is the plant? Harley Berlinberg, HBBP. What is the address? You can check here the delivery address. This is the address I have maintained. For that plant, that store location, this is the address. Approval. This is release related. Later we will check. These are the basic things. If you go to the second line item, in detail of the this item related, you can see here. Delivery address. I'm just saving. Okay. Now, while creating this, the individual job is like creating this purchase requisition or like goods receipt or anything. Right now, I just created the purchase requisition. While creating purchase requisition, if I get any errors or anything, while creating anything, so that I will while creating anything, so that I will raise an incident to the IT team. IT team in the sense SAP consultant. So I'll take the screenshot and I will explain them. This is the issue or error I am facing while creating the purchase equation. So consultant, we are SAP MM consultant. We will check why this error message is coming. What is the setting or configuration missing? Accordingly, we will help the solution to the end user. This is our job. I think so far you got some idea, right? Yeah, I think no queries, right, so far before proceeding.
No, sir.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Sir. Hello?
Yes.
Brother, sir, actually, I have one query. And hello?
Yes, please proceed.
Brother, actually, I want to ask that we are facing problem in while creating PR, na? In our department, we are facing problem, and the problem is that actually in a PR, if we have around 300 to around 250 to 300 line items.
Okay.
Okay, and we want to copy it in some other PR.
Okay.
So is it possible that to copy it, or we have to go with the line by line? We have to enter the material, then we have to go, or we can copy it.
Yeah, we can copy. Actually, if you see here, there is a document overview. Let me display it. Now I have created this purchase equation. One is like here the create option. So I click on create option and I maintain all this data. If you go to the document overview, there is, if you go here, this selection variant.
Okay.
Click here. Purchase requisitions. You can see
yes.
Purchase requisitions or my purchase requisitions. If you click on my purchase equations, whatever all the purchase equations created by you, that will be shown here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, to some with 2 series 16, I have created one of the purchase equation. So I can drag this and put it to the shopping cart. But let me create. Okay. Now there is one option. I can drag this and put into the shopping cart. You can see here. It will be copied. This is one kind of copy.
This is new PR created now.
New PR it will
Okay,
create. Okay. This is how we do.
Okay.
Okay. Let me save this. Okay. 17 has been created. You can see in the top, down 17. Now refresh this. You can see 17. Now select this and click on this adapt icon. You are seeing the adapt icon, right?
Yes, sir.
Click on this. You can create one more new. Okay.
Okay, sir.
See, if you want to create only for one particular line item, just select this, drag it, and accordingly it will create. If you want to create the second line item, that one also I can. Likewise, hope your doubt got clear, right?
No, thank you, sir. Clear.
Any other queries? This is the another way to create manually only, but another shortcut ways to create the purchase equation. Now,
option of source determination. So,
yes. Now I am coming to those only. Now in deep we'll discuss. So far it is just the end user activity which I shown you. A consultant. Now you can see. Let's go to any of the purchase equation. Okay. We can see here the left. Now you may have the doubt like this is the internally generated PR number. How it is fetched? This internally a number will be generated based on the number ranges we maintain. Where we will maintain the number ranges in the document types. These are called the document types, PR document types. There are many here. You can see NB is the standard PR document type. NB is the standard PR document. We will copy the NB standard PR document type and we'll create the custom document types. That is the thing. Okay. Now coming to the source determination. Source determination, which will reflect or which will we can see whenever the source list is maintained for this particular material, then only the source determination will reflect. As I said earlier, at the time of material creation, there is an option called source list in the material master. We need to update that also. 02. This is the material. We go to the purchasing view. Down you can see this source list option. Okay, this it should be selected tick mark for this material, and also you need to maintain the source list also. For this particular material, you need to maintain the source list. I mean, you have to mention the sources who is available. This vendor and also this vendor is available. This we already maintained. Now try to create the new purchase information. You have to select this indicator source determination so that whenever there is a source list maintained for this particular material, those vendors will be proposed here. I'll show you that. Quantity.
sir, I have one doubt. Hello.
Yes, yes. This place.
Sir, by selecting source determination, that means we can put order to particular material to particular vendor. Right.
We cannot order. Like system shows that these are the vendors available to procure.
For this particular material.
Yeah, for this. So where you can see means first you have to select this indicator, and prerequisites are you have to maintain the source list indicator in the material master in the purchasing bill. And one more thing is you have to maintain the source list for this material, and you have to maintain the vendors in the source list ME01. So as soon as you select here, if you go to the down tab source of supply, you can see there is one fixed vendor, Seat Tires. System is proposing you can buy from this vendor. There is one vendor available for the to supply this material. System is proposing us. Okay, why only this vendor? If you go to the source list for this material, you can see 905 vendor. 905 vendor is available. He is valid actually. He is valid since May 1st till June. And the other vendor is also there, but he is valid from 29th May, 29th May onwards. Okay, that's the reason. Who is the top? He will be shown. Okay, assign source of supply. We can have, if we click here, you can have the other vendor also. You can go and change the other vendor also from 29th onwards. Okay, this is how the source determination is it. Now we'll go to the document type creation, custom document types. You can see here as NB. Now I don't want this the standard. I want to create some custom document type and the custom number ranges. Now you see with the 2 series the PR has been created. Now the end user will ask us, no, I don't want in 2 series. I need this PR created in 3 series. So what we'll do based on the, so I will not make changes, any of changes to the standard document type. I'll create the custom document type, and I'll maintain the number ranges for 3 series. And then whenever you create the purchase equation with that custom document type, then 3 series purchase equation will be generated. Now we will see how the purchase equation document type will be created. Remember the path SPRO implementation, right? Go to the materials management, purchasing. You can see here purchase requisition. Here define document types. Define document types. Here NB is the standard one. Okay, we'll select NB and copy it as ZNB. It is actually 4. Okay, for maximum we can use it as 4 characters. ZNBHL. Hit enter. It will copy from the, it will copy all from, settings from the standard document types. Copy all. Enter. Now save this. That here. Now here document type. If you see here ZNBH, the document type. Here the first one is description. Second one is item interval. Item interval is where, let me show what is item interval. Now here you have created one PO, one item for the PR. What is the item number? It is 10. Okay, and again next you are trying to create another item, it is 20. Next, if you are trying to create another PR item, then it will be 30. There is a 10 in between. The interval is 10. That's the reason this 10 item interval. Number ranges. You can maintain. I'll show you the number range you have to maintain. We'll maintain the number range and we'll assign the number range key here. One is for the internal and the other one is external. Internal means system will generate the number range automatically, just like now how I created that 2 series, system automatically will generate. External means I will maintain externally while creating the purchase equation. I will maintain some number PR number accordingly. That is called external number ranges. That also we have to define. One more thing is field selection. This is the key we need to maintain. First we need to define this key. What is the uses of this field selection? Now this material, okay, I'll try to maintain some material. Okay. See, system showing that enter plant also. This plant is mandatory to create the purchase equation. Okay, I can put this plant field as optional also, or else you can see this material group, which is a display mode. We cannot maintain this material group. See, I cannot maintain anything, which is a display mode unit also. So these are all whether the field, whatever the fields in the purchase equation, whether these to be optional or mandatory or display mode. Likewise, we can move those settings. NBB is the standard field selection. Like that. I'll save this thing. I'll go back. I'll create the number ranges and I will assign there. Define number in the same path where you define document types. The same path, if you come down, you can define the number ranges. Go to the intervals. First, you need to select which number range is available. ZZ key and 8 series is available, I think. So let me try with the 8 series. CH. Always, whenever you're creating any new, you are making any new configurations for the standard one, existing standard one. So please make prefix as Z. Z means customization. Z. In the real time also, we'll be using Z in prefix. 8 series. Let me take the 8 series. Is 8 series 1000. Now you can see here the right side there is a flag box. If I flag this checkbox, it means it is external. Whenever I create, if I want to maintain the number range externally, not by the system generated, so that if I maintain this number, system will create with this number only. Internal also will create one more internally. This is internal because I am not flagging this right side. So it comes under internal. Zn is internal, ZH is external. Zn. I'll maintain the same number ranges in the document type which we created. ZNBH is the document type which created. Here, this is the number range internal. Here, which is I created ZN. And here, external is ZH. Click on the save. Okay. Now, I'll try to create the PR again. Flash it in 51. Source determination. Okay. Click on this ZNBH. Now you can see, right, whatever the defined document type over here. Select that one and number ranges. External number range is this one. Okay, this is in between. You can view any one of them. So system will. Okay. Use any of the material. Okay. This is, if here you can see, check this thing. This is the icon where you can check and confirm there are no error messages, and you can save. Now you see the external number range system did not generate it internally. So what is the externally number range I gave you? With that number only system has been created this purchase requisition. Okay, now internally also we'll try one thing. I will not maintain any number range over here, but I will try to create the material. The same material only. Okay. Now let me try to save this thing. So system created with 8 series after 1001. We can see the difference between the internal number range and external number range. This is how the NB, the documents and all I can see. So far, you have any queries or doubts? This is how we create the purchase requisition front end, and back end the document types and number and settings will be doing. And in next session, we'll be discussing the quotations. If you go to the P2P cycle, next is the quotation and also the purchase order, goods receipt. Next flow will follow. And after that, we'll be having the automatic account determination. There are other topics as well. We'll discuss those also. So far, if you have any queries, so that I thought today we have a lot, so I'll give you some practice. So I'll stop here only today. So please try to create material, vendor, and also the purchase equation. First, to create the organization structure by next weekend sessions.
Sir, actually, I have a query.
Yes, yes, I can.
Sir, can you open the SAP screen?
1 second. Okay.
Sir, actually, I have a created not for this session, sir. In the previous session, when I was practicing, I have a error is there. So that is the
Okay.
reason I'm trying to rectify it, but I didn't. So that
Okay,
is the
okay.
reason.
What is where the error you find?
Sir, actually, I have created two company codes and as well as 6 plants. For the 2 company code, each company code having 3 plants.
Okay.
So while I am assigning that plan to company code, it's not taking. So that is the main error, sir. So can you open it? Yeah.
Okay. What is your plan?
Plant is VKBM.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is,
See, what is the company code you created?
VKBS.
VKBS. Okay.
Yes.
Why we have why system is not allowing? Because let me take you what the error we got. VKBS, right? Your company
Yes.
code.
Yes. Company code is VKBS.
Okay.
Plant
And
that is VKBM.
so if you try to assign this, system will throw error. Why? Because VKBM plant, okay, VKBM, which is a plant already assigned to the company code. Why? Because you have created the VKBS company code by copying the 1000 plant, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So what you have to do means go back, filter VKBS, right?
Yes, VKBS.
Okay, filter your plant. VKBS, VKBS. Okay, here you can see VKBM is a plant already assigned with 0001 company code. Why? Because you copied your company code 0001.
Yes, sir.
You have to delete this entry, save it, and go to the new entry, VKBS, right?
Yes.
Company code VKBM.
VKBM. Yes.
Now you are able to assign this.
Okay. Fine, sir. Fine. Sir.
Yeah, great, Sai Kumar. You are practicing these things. See, until unless you practice this, you didn't get this doubt, and you will not ask this question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Others to get access. I think it's too late. You didn't. If you are not getting access, please try to get access quickly. We have one more week. But the next session, please make familiar with all the organization creation and also material vendor creation. Any other queries? Are we good to wind up the session?
Sir, what all T codes we will have to memorize?
For organization structure, let's say for each and every process, there will be few transaction codes. Total around, I can say in SAP, not more than 50 transaction codes will be there, which you have to make in hand. Those are like organization structure. If you remember the path also would be fine. For the major things are like purchase order creation. In next classes we will be dealing there. Okay, now for the material creation, MM01, this is a basic thing. Even in the interview, see, that is a basic thing like MM01 creation of material code. Like these things we have to remember. It will be around like 30-40 transaction codes, T codes, which you can remember, not beyond that. Like vendor creation means just now we had a session on vendor creation. You can say BP is a transaction code. There are only few things. So see, without knowing you can remember if you do continuous practice on this. Even I am the person came. I am also fresher when I started my career at the beginning. So the same doubt I had, like once I have practiced it myself on multiple times, I have created like n number of organization structures. The same doubts what you were having earlier also, like why we are creating material master, vendor master. But still, I used to practice them multiple times, and later now it's in hands-on. That's the reason. Now once you get some, once you are got placed in some organization and going forward you will get to know what things happening in the organization, and first you have to know the SAP standard thing in the class, and only the main thing to reach there is to practice whatever we discuss in the class.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sir,
don't worry.
have you any,
Going forward, without knowing you will remember all those transaction codes once you practice. Yes, Akshay.
sir, have you any study material for SAP MM?
No, Akshay. Actually, there must be predefined organization. I mean, these IT coordinates they must be providing. There will be somewhere they might be uploading the materials. They must be providing there. Please check with them.
Just that is what my question also. See, if you are learning Tally, there will be a step by step which will be given like with a screenshot where you need to go and create the purchase organization thing and where to create how to create the company code screen by screen. It will be like a
Yes,
iterative
Swaminathan.
process, right?
See, that's the reason we are recording the session, right, Swaminathan? And also, personally, I have created and shared like how to create these things. If you check that there is a portal, I can't remember, LVS portal. There,
Yes, I have not received. I will just coordinate with the my coordinator, and I
okay.
will get that in that
See
portal.
that is from my personal end. I created and I gave you so that you can go through that even, okay, and you can check with them if I mean the organization will be providing any material or anything with them or not, okay?
Sure, sure. I will check with that.
Yeah, but don't forget to practice. See, now Sai Kumar has a doubt, so we clear. Likewise, even if you are also having any doubts, we can clear it in the session. If something is not relevant to I will let you know that it is not related to You can leave this, you can ignore this like thing also. I will suggest you that thing also.
Sure, sure.
Hope everyone see. I think this is clear, right? What we were discussing in the session so far.
Sir, can you open again that same portal, sir? Which one you assigned, right? So
One second.
another plans also is there. I'm trying to assign the same error it's showing.
The
Sir.
same thing you can no. See, I just example I have deleted one. The other things also you can delete.
Yeah, I
Let me show
tried
you
now.
again.
Just now only I tried to delete it. I deleted it, but still it's
No,
not.
you didn't. You might. I think you might not saved that after your deletion. Let me check
Okay.
this thing. Let me share. You might be forgetting the deletion. That's the reason I in previous session I told you repeatedly. When you are doing any activity, please try to save. I think you might have forgotten to save it. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Whenever you do activity, please try to save it. Oh, okay.
Just a minute, Sam. I'll close it.
Go, come outside.
Yeah. Now try, sir.
See the error, you see the lock, right? Why it is? If we are using the same path or we are doing any the same transaction at a time, it will show like it is a locked mirror. See, at the same time Sai Kumar also using. That's the reason it says that data is locked by user Sai Kumar, and cannot. This will be available only for the display. I cannot make any changes. Okay.
Close.
Okay. You have closed. No worries. I will start again. Make sure to come outside.
I completely closed, sir.
Okay. Oh, is it 7.5? Is 7.5 is your ID only, right?
Just a minute, sir.
Can you just log out for a while?
Just a minute, sir. I
use the transaction code SM12 to
Okay. No,
this.
we don't need that much since we will just go back.
now try, sir.
Did you log out?
Yes, sir. Logged out.
Your plant is which one is your plant? VK?
VKBE, sir. Now VKBE.
Okay, see,
Plant.
VKBE, still I could see the old company code. I think you did not delete it properly. You might have deleted, but did not
But I need
save
to
it.
say.
Yes. VKBS.
Yes, sir. VKBE. Fine, sir. So once I need to delete and I need to save.
Yes. Save at the time of storage location creation.
Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we will meet again in the next.
Sir, can you provide a standard table name tomorrow?
The list I will provide you.
Okay.
Anyhow, the vendor master I will prepare the PPT today. What we discussed, that I will prepare by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. By Tuesday I will share you that tables.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We'll meet all again in the next Saturday. And okay. Please try to get SAP access and everything. Please practice.
Sir, next Saturday, what will be time? 7:30 or
same 7:30.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all. Bye.
Okay, good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.